Okay, traders, welcome. Here we are, VTP Stage 2 online, technical Tuesday coaching call 198 for the 30th of June 2026. I hope you're all well. Hope you have had a good start to the week. Hope you are ready for a kind of interesting week ahead. As always, you're very welcome here. Just remember that you're always responsible for your own trading and investing decisions. And if you want a little bit more education, today's the last day of the end of Q2 special offer price for Stage 2 and Stage 3 courses. So if you want that, you can ping away that today. The bit.ly code is there, or the QR code, or just ping me, okay? Okay, as always, Stage 2, start with a dollar holler. So Aussie on the daily, Euro on the daily, Cable on the daily, dollar Swiss, Kiwi dollar, dollar CAD, dollar yen. All right, so I sort of said this yesterday on the Monday market update and also on the active trades. Even just looking at that, you can see what the trend has been for the last month. All right, okay, kind of Aussie weakness, dollar strength, Kiwi weakness, dollar strength, Euro weakness, dollar strength, Canadian weakness, sterling weakness, dollar strength. Okay, basically dollar strength, yen weakness, dollar strength, Swiss franc weakness. All right, so that's why I have these setups like this, because it just gives me that snapshot, a very quick, clear snapshot of where's the strength, where's the weakness. Yes, I have the STAM to help me, but when I see it clearly out there, okay, across the majors, that also helps, just basically helps me build a picture. So with that in mind, let's have a look at the dollar index. Not unsurprising, this is the weekly chart. We kind of broke through those sort of demand and supply zones, 100 big round number, pushed our way through, and have done from the last few weeks, okay, as we worked our way high on the dollar. Interesting little run there. It looks like we've come off a little bit now. As I said, you've got today is end of month and end of quarter. You've got NFP on Thursday. There is also kind of talks continuing, like US-Iran talks going on there. Okay, it's a thin week on earnings, all right, but I think Nike are probably the biggest name this afternoon, and I covered them in the update yesterday, and the video for that should be going out as well. But yeah, you can see the trend is definitely up, isn't it? All right, the trend is definitely up, and what has been kind of interesting to see is, if I look at this here, going in through Stage 2. Why is that? I don't know why my thing lines have changed to. Just bear with me one. Let's just change this trend line so going forward, no need for pale green. Right, so that's something that people can see. Interestingly, all right, so this was the ultimate low here. So there's the VB on it, okay, and we've basically traded through it, and then we came back to it and bounced off it. What a shocker, right? Which was also the 20 acting as support, 20 crossing the 50, acting as support, okay, and before we worked our way much higher, right? So and now we've come off a little bit. I'll be curious to see, and that probably explains when we look at those daily pairs this week. Okay, we've seen a little bit of the dollar coming off, but that trend is still long dollar. 4-hour charts, okay. Interestingly, 4-hour last week, we pushed up and put in this. That's that is a DTB 1, 2, 3, nice double top, isn't it? Worked its way up, worked its way down. Where did it come down to? The 50, and it's kind of overnight bounced its way higher. Now we're looking to see, well, is there going to be PO20 there? Is there, if we look at that, see how the 20 has just kind of acted as support there. Now it's rolled over, hasn't it? And the 50's there, and price, you've got price in the 20 and the 50. Now, is this a case of, last day of the month and the quarter, Thursday NFP, everybody's just sort of kind of, either they're sorting their books out today, or getting ready for a flood of money tomorrow, or basically just sat saying, well, actually maybe we'll wait until we see what the NFP numbers are. I mean, certainly we've got also here, as he reached it, because of course this afternoon we've got consumer confidence in the US at 3 o'clock, and also JOLTS job openings, and then tomorrow we've got Varsha speaking, so perhaps maybe people will be waiting for that. We've also got Bailey, but no one really cares about Bailey. We've got ISM manufacturing tomorrow, okay, before Thursday. So the next couple of days are going to be big, all right, in terms of US news, including Varsh speaking. So you have to wonder whether this is just people just starting to, this is coiling up, all right, people get through the first couple of days, make sure there's no sort of announcements, and then clear off for 4th of July holidays. All right, so that's what we're looking at, which explains a little bit why, if we look at here on this daily chart, okay, so even euro the last couple of days has had a little bit of a bump, as has sterling, as has the Swiss franc, okay, and a little bit even on Kiwi. All right, not so much on Aussie, but I remember what we was just saying, Aussie looks like it's going down. Looks like maybe there is a false breakout going on there, right? But yeah, that's what we're looking at there. Okay, so I wonder if, as I said, whether we're just going to have a bit of a coiled up couple of weeks there, right? Certainly, we looked at the STAM focus was basically selling Kiwi dollar and buying dollar CAD, which has worked nicely. But as I said, if we go into start of this week, it certainly hasn't given us any opportunity on the daily. And the 4-hourly chart there was here, okay, yesterday, all right. So, but we've just kind of worked our way down into it, and now it looks like we've got a farmer here, haven't we? We've got a farmer with supporting, so it basically has a shower bank, and now it wouldn't surprise me if we kind of worked our way up to that 50-period moving average. That's what I'd be kind of expecting for that. Dollar CAD was a bit frustrating in terms of that has been a fantastic trend, all right. That's the daily chart. Fantastic trend. That is stage 2, all right, and a chart. Namely, you've had dollar strength and Canadian dollar weakness supported by just a nice trend. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. Okay. If we look at the 4-hour chart, last week, we came down, hit the 20, put in that engulfing candle, back up above the 8, and worked our way higher until we actually got this kind of just zooming in there. We kind of got this really nice. That's a double top there, all right, pin bar followed by second leg as an engulfing candle, which closed the other side of the 8 as well. It was also an engulfing candle, a key reversal candle. So it was a great run, tactical short, okay, and it came down towards the 50, all right, at the start of this week, and then we looked to bounce, but it didn't. It's not really given, certainly yesterday and this morning, not really any kind of buying signals on the 4-hour chart. Now, you might say, well, actually, Paul, this would help you. You're right, but of course, remember what we said. I've got Canadian GDP at half 1, so I wouldn't be buying that as a swing trader. A couple of hours before the major news, okay, especially when we're back up here at the previous week's highs, okay. So we'll have to wait and see how that. Now, it's frustrating that it wasn't really an opportunity, even though it's moved beautifully. The 4-hour candle didn't really give it, and nor did the not even the dailies really. Okay, not even the dailies gave you that kind of buy opportunity. And so people might say, well, Paul, couldn't you go down to the 1-hour chart? And you're right. You could go down to the 1-hour chart, okay. But even the 1-hour chart isn't exactly. What you might have said is, if you knew stage 3 and stage 1, you might say, well, actually, we Pac-Man'd out here yesterday. Off we go. All right. And that was your opportunity into it. But yes, you can go lower, but I don't really talk about it on stage 2 because what I always worry about is people just chasing. Okay. What I worry about is people just say, oh, dollar's going up against CAD. I just want to get in. Don't care. I'm just going to go down and chase the trade. And I'm always very wary about that. Okay. Especially for kind of new traders. So, frustrating that it didn't give us the price action to be long there, really. Okay. In the way that I'd like. But it's a case of welcome to trading. Being able to sort of see and understand how it plays out is the beneficial element for that. Okay, so there's the dollars on its way. Let's have a look at what should we look at next?